All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to, well, a new course of discovery for myself and my partner in crime, Stephen Lyman. We're trying out StreamYard for the first time, and today we're going to walk through a very brief tasting of Sanwa Shurui's Saiten Barley Shochu. And right now, apparently, we're streaming live, and I don't want to do this by myself, so I'm going to welcome Stephen in here immediately. Everybody welcome, and nobody's watching, I assume, yet, but here we go. Here he comes. Hey, man, how you doing?
Hey, Christopher, how are you?
Seamless.
Nice.
I like it. This is good.
Yeah,
This is pretty cool.
yeah.
It's a
Nice way to finish off our week. It's a Friday evening here in Japan. Figure have a little tasting and talk some shochu. This is
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah,
Yeah, so this one tentatively is called Discover Saiten Barley Shochu, but we probably need to come up with something consistent that we can use. Discovery is a
sure.
nice word.
Yeah,
Um,
it is. And at least when we're introducing new brands, I think that's a good way to do it. This is
mhm.
Saiten.
Oh yeah.
I'm still getting used to my camera position. There we go. Yeah, Saiten is a 43% alcohol, 100% barley shochu from Oita Prefecture in uh, Kyushu, which is not that far from me. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, I guess, to the distillery from here in Fukuoka.
And at first blush, when you open it up, it's very toasty barley. I don't know if you
It
can
is.
imagine
It's
what that smells like, but it's got a really deep breadiness to it.
absolutely, and in contrast to a lot of Ichiko's other products. So Sanwa Shurui is the creators of Ichiko, which is an iconic brand, the best-selling barley shochu in Japan, and Saiten is their foray into the U.S. market as a cocktail base, but much more interesting than this. You could say this packaging almost looks like a vodka bottle, right? It's because almost be
Sure.
like Geffen vodka or something, but there's so much more going on in this drink,
Yeah, absolutely.
right?
I mean, this is like all premium shochu out there, and for those of you that are familiar, you'll know that it's distilled once in a pot still, leaving a lot of flavor, aroma. The organic compounds that help to give the spirit life are released through the end of the distillation process and kept in the bottle. So this is, it looks like a vodka bottle, but as soon as you open it, you're like, oh wow, that has a lot of character.
Absolutely. And the name itself, Saiten, you can see kind of the blue and green background. It's actually on the back side of the bottle. There's a sticker on the back that's showing through, and that Saiten, the name actually means colorful sky. So pretty label design, really interesting. Not your typical shochu packaging at all.
No.
Very unique relative to what you normally see shochu packaged in, at least for export. So I've already poured a little bit. You've got the proper glass because you're a proper gentleman. I've
Well,
got my
I mean,
little ceramic choco.
well, this was made in a machine though. Yours was made by hand. That's You get points for that.
That's right. I had one of these that I did all of my kanpai tastings on for about 7 years, and Chuck Malone broke it at a house party. Not to name names. Oh wait, I named names. So fortunately, I found this replacement made by a 90-year-old potter in Miyama, Kagoshima. So I'm glad to have a replacement. So no hard feelings, Chuck.
Yeah, and
You
especially
klutz.
after. What did he do? Did he football spike it or something?
I don't know. There'd been some drinking going on. There were a lot of glassware lying around as people were trying different things, and I think it might have gotten knocked off a countertop or something and hit at the wrong
Sure.
angle. You know, no bad people.
No bad people. So
Yeah.
this has that breadiness, and it gets a little bit
Oh,
banana
absolutely.
bready.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a little
Yeah,
bit of
it's
a
it's
sweet
so
note
funny
to it.
because I have a banana allergy, which maybe that's TMI, but
No, it's
I
good to know.
I don't eat bananas anymore. I used to love them as a kid, and my mom used to make banana bread. It was one of my favorite things in the world. So to be able to smell banana bread again without the risk of needing to find my EpiPen is really nice.
Do you carry one around with you?
I do not. No, I probably
Oh,
should, but yeah,
I can if you want. I'll
yeah.
jab you with it.
There you go. Yeah, I really like the aroma. It is banana bread, but it's also got that yeasty, almost dinner roll sort of Yeah. Really interesting. It's all these Western food flavor aromas, right? Which is unexpected from a shochu. So it's nice.
Mm.
And that'll let it doesn't have alcohol in the nose, which a lot of shochu will, especially things that have vacuum distillate in it, and this one doesn't. I'm not getting any ethanol at all. Are you? Maybe a hint at the back.
Ethanol, yeah, just a little bit, very light. But it's really considering that it's 43%. You would never, it's surprising that it's so subdued.
That's right. All right, give it a go.
Mm.
Oh wow, that is chewy. That has a lot going on. Really nice.
Yeah, that's pretty smooth.
It is. I mean, I think where do you even go with that? It's so layered.
Yeah, it's still there. It's pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting to go a little bit honeyed and.
Yeah, it goes very sweet. It's still got a roastiness to it.
It's like have you ever bitten into what were they called? Frosted mini wheats. You bite into one of those without it having any milk touching it. Like just bite into one of them dry, and if you get just a small enough of the frosting on top, it had kind of that really that sweetness to it at the end.
Oh, that's a really interesting way of describing it. Huh? Yeah, you're right. I haven't had frosted mini wheats probably since I had a banana.
Well, you're not allergic to mini wheats too, are you?
Absolutely not. I just stopped eating breakfast cereal because I realized that it's not that good for you. Your metabolism slows down. You cross 30, your metabolism slows down. You need to start making some dietary changes. I stopped drinking sweetened iced tea, even though I grew up on the stuff in the South.
Like Nestea?
I stopped drinking. No, like fresh brewed tea, iced tea, but with a lot of sugar added at the time that you're making it. Mm-hmm. It's like a staple in like barbecue restaurants down south. And then I eventually also gave up Dr. Pepper. And
you were a Dr. Pepper nut.
I was all about the pepper. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then then eventually I had to give up sugar in my coffee. And it used to be a ton of milk and a ton of sugar. When I was a kid from the South, we liked things sweet. Sure. And, I eventually got to the point. Sure. I got to the point where it was just like a latte or, coffee with milk. And then I finally gave up the milk. So now my coffee's down to basically 0 calorie. My tea's down to 0 calorie. My shochu is not. But shochu's less calories than beer or wine or other. Yeah.
Yeah. For the uninitiated, shochu is a very low cal way to go. We're talking about it's a single distilled spirit. There are no additives allowed, so you're basically just getting calories from the alcohol, and so it's an easy one on the system. It's recommended in Japan for sufferers of gout, at least if you're going to be drinking, sure. And has a bunch of other health with benefits that are more or less verified, unverified. We can argue about that, but
well, I mean, it's definitely recommended for people who are pre-diabetic or suffering from diabetes because there is no residual sugar. But that's true for most distilled beverages, unless some rums have sugar added. You get a tiny bit of sugar from the barrel in a whiskey, but it's probably trace amounts. It's not a big deal. But for the most part, a lot of distilled spirits have that benefit for people that are at risk of diabetes. But yeah, shochu's a pretty great drink. We really kind of wandered a little bit there, didn't we? We went from frosted mini wheats to diabetes. I guess that's sort of how it works, right?
Yep. I think that may be a gateway drug right there. Frosted mini wheats. Are you allergic to anything else besides bananas?
No, that's the only allergy I have. I sometimes wonder if I have a mild like gluten intolerance,
Interesting.
but I doubt it because I eat a lot of bread and noodles and all sorts of things. It's probably psychosomatic.
I think that as I get older, I'm starting to deal with a mild lactose intolerance, but I could be wrong. I don't know. It hits me and sometimes it doesn't. And then I'm apparently allergic to sulfa drugs, SULFA,
Yep. Yep.
from when I was a
That's
little baby. I don't know if that's still the case, but apparently I was given something from that family of medications, and things got very exciting very quickly. I don't
happens.
recall.
I've known a number of people who have that allergy, so not uncommon at all. Sorry, I suddenly got very thirsty. Felt like Marco Rubio in a response to the State of the Union. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
In the middle of his speech, he just starts chugging a bottle of water. Good times. Yeah, back when American politics were simple.
Yeah,
right?
back when the most scandalous thing going on was what somebody wore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, yeah. Any other thoughts on Saiten? I guess the thing that I'd like to talk about maybe a little bit is, Ichiko is really well known as a light, clean barley shochu, but even the main brands, even though they taste like 100% vacuum distillate, they're actually blended. So there is a little bit of in the main brands in Ichiko Silhouette and I believe it's pronounced Saiten. Those brands both have predominantly vacuum distilled spirit and then a splash. I don't know the percentages because it's a trade secret, but they have some amount of atmospheric distilled shochu as well. The atmospheric obviously has much more flavor and aroma. The vacuum's very light and clean. But what I've realized in the time that I've spent visiting Sanwa Shurui and talking to their employees and everything and tasting their products, they really are master blenders.
Mm-hmm.
And blending is not something that people talk about a lot in shochu. And a lot of distilleries, their sense of blending is, I use the same ingredients in the same process, so I made the same shochu, but I made that one last year and that potato harvest was better or worse than it is this year, and I'm just going to put this year's into the same tank, right? And there's not a lot of thought into a lot of the blending that goes on. There are some other distilleries now that are getting into that, right? We'll find distillates that are two different species of potato blended or that sort of thing, but blending has not really been a big part of the conversation for shochu. But Sanwa Shurui is a huge exception because they are simply master blenders, and I think Saiten is an example of that. They're using, I think they make over 20 different styles of 100% barley shochu based on what kind of koji they're using, what kind of yeast, fermentation temperature, fermentation time, and what kind of still they're using, right? So they get all these different expressions of barley shochu, and then they blend those in different proportions and different numbers of them to get to what they want in the bottle. And it's striking when you've tried Ichiko Silhouette or Frasco or Kurobin, right? These are all the Ichiko products that are most common in the States. They're all on that very light, clean side. They'll have a little bit more flavor here or there. Some of them will be sweeter, some of them will be drier. But Saiten is just completely different.
Yeah.
And then it's using the same base ingredients from the same distillery without any barrel aging or very, very, very little barrel aging. And they end up with this really, really interesting expression. So kudos to Sanwa Shurui for sure.
Yeah, they do a very good job of finding new ways to bend the barley flavor spectrum almost on an annual basis. When they were coming up with the Saiten formula, what was the intent for that? Where were they what was the inspiration for coming up with such a layered and really barley forward? I mean, not like anything else that they make. What were they going for there? What was the goal?
I mean, I think their stated purpose was to develop something that would hold up in a cocktail. Right, the really light expressions that are standard for Ichiko would disappear. They'd almost be treated like a vodka, right? Where it would basically, it's your little alcohol delivery vehicle, and all of the cocktail ingredients just mask the flavor of the vodka, right?
Right.
That style of shochu just wouldn't stand out like a gin, or a whiskey, or a brandy, or something that'll really still express itself or a mezcal or tequila, right? Those are all spirits that will express themselves through the cocktail.
Right.
And
yeah,
they wanted to create something like that. This barley is not shy. This is going to stand out in a cocktail.
not at all.
And it, with all of the different flavors and aromas that are expressing, and all the layers, I'm sure that bartenders are having and will have a lot of fun with this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was their intention, and I think that's also why it's 43%. And I believe it's pretty aggressively priced.
I think I saw it being like around $30 in the U.S. market.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yep.
Which is for 43% ABV barley shochu that's made to this standard. That's a bargain. They should double the price, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's 25% barley shochu that sells for more than that, right?
Yeah,
in the States.
absolutely. So, absolutely.
Yeah, to get it at 43, I think is definitely a value. Beautiful packaging as well. It's obviously going to stand out on a bar. When customers once customers know what it is.
Yeah,
I think it'll be eye catching. I really enjoy it straight, and I'm not a big straight shochu drinker. I tend to dilute either mizuwadi, so mixed with cold water, or soda wadi mixed with sparkling water.
Mm-hmm.
But this one I could drink straight, and on the rocks it's lovely as well. So I know it's intended, or its stated goal was for cocktails, but it's a sipper on its own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
This would be a nice nightcap. And for anyone out there who is either watching live or watches this in the future, if you suddenly find yourself thinking, "Oh, geez, I want to know more about this," well, then I would recommend that you go to the kanpai.us website. I put the URL up here, and we have a write-up on that website that gets into great detail about really only pros about this Honkaku Shochu. So if you want to read more, then definitely head over there. And there's also a bunch of other Sanwa Shurui's products that are written up over there. What are the other ones that we got on the site there?
We have Kurobin, which is the black bottle. We have the standard Ichiko silhouette. We've got Ichiko Saiten. Saiten, which is a 20% alcohol expression, so very low alcohol. Ichiko silhouette is 25. I don't believe we have Ichiko Frasco up yet, but we should get that one up.
I don't think we do. I have it right behind me.
Lovely packaging.
Yeah, this is another one from the same maker. It's still in the box. We do definitely. Oh, man, this is weird. You know what? You know what's different between StreamYard and Zoom? There's no mirroring.
Yeah.
Are you mirrored on yours? Because for me, looking at myself, everything's backwards. So I have no idea which way to go.
I've been making that mistake a couple of times. We'll get used to it though.
Yeah, I guess so. We definitely have to crack this open at some point. This is Frasco is something that is not so easy to find in Japan. I almost feel like it's easier to find in the States.
Yeah, maybe. I think it's a beautiful package. I think it makes a great gift for anybody that enjoys spirits. And unfortunately, bartenders don't really like it because that fat bottle takes up a lot of space on the shelf, and it's delicate, right? It's really it's essentially a flask, right? It's beautiful, but you ding that with a heavy bottle. I love that we can hear you kick bottles as you step around.
There's too many damn bottles. Yeah, I just don't have enough shelf space, so the floor has become a shelf in this room. This is a beautiful kind of teardrop shape bottle, and this is Frasco. And I can see. I mean, it would be really nice and elegant on the bar, but it is probably very fragile. So I'm going to put it back.
Almost want one of those bars that has like little cubbies for special bottles, right? You got your main back bar, and then you've got little cubbies. It belongs in one of those little cubby holes.
Sure. Yeah, I think you're right.
So, good stuff. This is fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to think about more brands to taste and how we want to format all this. But this was a fun little experiment, and at least we got it started. Right? We've been talking about doing something on YouTube and Facebook for a while, and been doing our Instagram lives every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Those have been a lot of fun. But this is a different format, and we can actually drink at night if we do it at this time.
It's true. So we're mostly we're drinking with the Japan crowd if we do it this way. Show Tuesday, which is our live Instagram thing that we do every Wednesday morning in Japan. It's Tuesday night, East Coast of the United States. Yeah, we do drink, of course. We drink almost every single time we do that, right? Because there's almost always a tasting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've always got
a little
spit bucket.
You're more adult than I am. I never. No, I if it goes in, it stays in.
Yeah.
At least for about an hour.
I have to go to work afterwards, so I'm not gonna show up to the office. Plus I have to cycle to work, right? So definitely can't.
Okay,
can't.
fair enough. Fair enough. That's
Well, I don't have to cycle to work. I can take the train.
Legal.
And if I did imbibe, I would absolutely take the train.
Sure.
Yeah. So there's that. That's fun, and we have a podcast coming out, don't we? I think
we do.
When is the first episode drop? It's soon. It's really soon.
Probably this weekend. I think it's going to be this weekend. So we're going to, we're going to have to, we don't want to tell you the name of the website or the name of the podcast yet because the site isn't completely ready. There's still a bunch of, the copy hasn't been all aligned and everything. There's still some lorem ipsum type stuff in there. But we've got a great sound engineer. We've got pretty well outlined episodes, and we've already got how many in the can? Maybe 5 or 6?
5 or 6, yeah. At least 5.
Yeah.
I think we might have done a 6th, actually.
Yeah, so geez.
Yeah.
It's all of a sudden we're finding new conduits for our nerdiness, and I think that's only a good thing. So cool. All right. Well, or the maiden voyage on the StreamYard Steam line. Not bad. Oh, I just noticed that there's a count of how many people are watching. There's 3 people watching apparently, and thank you very much for tuning in to this inaugural voyage. We're gonna do this again soon, probably, just because it's kind of fun, and it gives Stephen and I a little bit more flexibility. We can kind of sign on here whenever there's an itch to talk about something, or whenever we want to do a tasting together. We do so many tastings on Zoom that are not recorded and are lost to. Hopefully Zoom isn't secretly recording them, but if so, then who knows? Maybe they'll come around someday. But this way we can say, hey, let's do a tasting. Let's go talk about this and put our reputations on the line. Is basically what we're doing. But anyways, thank you very much. Yeah, that's right. Thank you for tuning in, everybody, and keep an eye on this channel. Thank you, Stephen, for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Christopher.
Talk to you again soon. Everybody stay happy, stay safe, and as always, kanpai.
Kanpai.